Hello there, and welcome to Sleepster, your cozy corner of curiosity, where science wraps you in a blanket of serenity. Whether you're nestled under covers, your phone glowing softly against a pillow, or letting your mind drift gently toward sleep, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Tonight, we're stepping into a world long vanished, a place where strange and magnificent creatures roamed, some with feathers, some with fangs, others with fins larger than a boat. This is the story of extinct creatures, the lost worlds stay inhabited, and the whispers they've left behind in stone and story. From the flightless dodo to the mighty megalodon, we'll explore their lives, their mysteries, and the science that keeps their memory alive. I must confess, I hope this journey isn't too enthralling. After all, the goal is to guide you toward a peaceful slumber. But if you find yourself wide-eyed, imagining a saber-toothed cat stalking through ancient forests, well, at least you'll be a little wiser as you dream. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from tonight? What time is it where you are? Drop a comment and say hello. It's always a joy to see this sleepy little community stretch across time zones and continents. If you find comfort in videos like this, blending knowledge with calm, a gentle tap on the like button, or a quiet subscribe helps more than you know. It's a small gesture that supports hours of research, writing, and a whole lot of softly whispered wonder. And just a quick reminder before we dive in. While this video is full of fascinating science, it's not medical advice. Sleep is a struggle. It's always best to consult a qualified professional. This is here to relax, not replace care. All right, let's settle in, take a deep breath, and begin our gentle journey into the lost worlds of extinct creatures. Imagine a world where the ground shakes under the weight of massive dinosaurs, where oceans churn with sharks the size of buses, where forests echo with the calls of birds that no human eye has ever seen. These creatures are gone now, but their stories linger, etched into fossils, preserved in amber, and pieced together by scientists who chase the past like detectives. Extinction is a quiet word, but it holds a universe of mystery. It's not just about loss, it's about life adaptation and the delicate dance of survival on a changing planet. What makes extinct creatures so fascinating is how they challenge our imagination. They lived in worlds so different from ours, yet they faced the same struggles: finding food, evading predators, raising young. Some thrived for millions of years, ruling continents or seas, only to vanish in what seems like a heartbeat in Earth's long history. Others disappeared so recently that humans crossed paths with them, leaving tales of strange birds or monstrous beasts. The science of paleontology, the study of ancient life, lets us reconstruct these worlds, bone by bone, clue by clue. A slow, patient process, like assembling a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Yet it reveals creatures so vivid, they feel almost alive. Let's start with one of the most famous extinct creatures, the dodo. This flightless bird, native to Mauritius, an island in the Indian Ocean, became a symbol of extinction itself. Picture a plump, pigeon-like bird, about 3 feet tall, waddling through lush forests, nibbling on fruit and living a life free of predators until humans arrived. The dodo's story is both tragic and telling. Its large beak, stubby wings, and trusting nature made it an easy target for sailors and the animals they brought, like rats and pigs, which devoured its eggs. By the late 1600s, less than a century after humans first encountered it, the dodo was gone. But the dodo wasn't just a victim of carelessness. Its biology tells a deeper story. It evolved on an island with no natural predators, so it had no need for flight or fear. Its wings, once used by its ancestors to soar, became vestigial, shrinking over generations. Its body grew round and heavy, perfectly suited for a life of foraging. Fossils and early sketches show us a bird that was oddly charming, with a curved beak for cracking seeds and a wattle that must have been endearing. Scientists have studied its bones, found in Mauritian marshes, and even DNA from preserved specimens, piecing together its place in the pigeon family tree. The dodo wasn't a failure, was a masterpiece of adaptation, perfectly suited to a world that changed too fast. Extinction, though, isn't always about human interference. Many creatures vanished long before we walked the earth, driven by shifts in climate, geology, or competition. The story of extinct creatures is really the story of Earth itself, planet that spins, tilts, and reshapes itself over millions of years. Volcanoes erupt, continents drift, oceans rise and fall. Each change rewrites the rules of survival, and not every creature can adapt. The dodo's tail is just one thread in a tapestry that includes giants like dinosaurs, marine monsters like mosasaurs, and tiny insects trapped in amber, their wings frozen in time. As we journey through these lost worlds, we'll meet creatures that seem like they belong in myth, saber-toothed cats with fangs like daggers, woolly mammoths trudging through icy tundras, and megalodons that ruled the seas. We'll explore how they lived, why they vanished, and what their fossils tell us about the past. We'll also ponder the future. Could science bring these creatures back? The idea of de-extinction, using DNA and modern technology, feels like something out of a dream, but it's closer than you might think. For now, let's linger in the wonder of these lost worlds. Picture yourself standing on a prehistoric shore, the air thick with the calls of strange creatures, the ground alive with life forms we can barely imagine. As you drift toward sleep, let these images settle gently in your mind. The dodo waddling through a forest, a dinosaur shadow crossing a fern-covered valley, a shark gliding through ancient waves. These are the ghosts of Earth's past, and their stories are waiting to unfold. Let's linger in the warm, green embrace of Mauritius, where the dodo waddled through forests, its world a quiet paradise until change arrived. The dodo Rhapis cuculitis is more than a symbol of extinction, it's a window into the fragile beauty of island ecosystems where evolution crafts unique creatures in isolation, only to see them vanish when balance is disrupted. Tonight, we'll explore the dodo's life, its swift loss, and the broader story of island extinctions. From the moa of New Zealand to the passenger pigeon of North America, weaving a tale of adaptation, vulnerability, and lessons for our world. Today, the dodo was a creature of curious design, perfectly suited to its predator-free home. Standing about a meter tall, it had a plump, pigeon-like body, with soft gray feathers and a large, curved beak for cracking seeds and fruit. Its tiny wings, mere stubs from its flying ancestors, flapped uselessly as it wandered the forest floor, foraging for fallen tamblecoke fruit, seeds, and perhaps small insects. Its sturdy legs supported a body weighing up to 20 kilograms, ideal for a grounded lifestyle. Fossils from the Mare aux Songes swamp in Mauritius reveal a robust skeleton, while DNA from museum specimens confirms its place in the pigeon family, showing how millions of years of isolation shaped its unique form. This isolation drove the dodo's evolution. Mauritius, formed by volcanic eruptions, was a haven free of mainland predators or competitors. Over generations, the dodo's ancestors lost flight, their wings shrinking in a process called island gigantism, where isolated species grow larger or bolder. Its beak and digestive system, inferred from pigeon relatives, were adapted for tough, fibrous plants, tying it to the island's ecosystem. The dodo helped disperse seeds like those of the calvaria tree, ensuring the forest's renewal. This balance was delicate, a dance of species honed by time. But it made the dodo vulnerable when change arrived. In the 1590s, Dutch sailors landed on Mauritius, marveling at the dodo, a name possibly derived from a Portuguese word for fool due to its fearless nature. They hunted the bird, though its meat was tough and unpalatable. More devastating were the invasive species. They brought pigs, rats, and monkeys that raided dodo nests, devouring eggs and chicks. Deforestation for sugar plantations shrank its habitat, clearing the forests where it thrived. By the 1680s, the dodo was extinct, less than a century after human contact. Journals from sailors, with sketches of the bird's round form, and a few preserved specimens in museums are our only glimpses of it alive. The dodo's story is not unique. Islands are hotspots for extinction, their ecosystems fragile due to limited space and species. The Rodriguez solitaire, a flightless bird on a nearby island, met a similar fate, hunted and displaced by humans. New Zealand's moa, giant birds, up to 12 feet tall, vanished after Maori settlers arrived around 1300, their eggs and habitats targeted. Madagascar's elephant birds, with eggs the size of basketballs, disappeared after human settlement, their bones now museum relics. Even the passenger pigeon, though not an island species, saw its billion-strong flocks collapse by 1914. Due to overhunting and deforestation in North America, paleontology reveals these losses through meticulous study. Fossils of dodo bones show wear from foraging, while pollen in Mauritian soil reveals a forest of ebony and tambalacoke trees. Sediment cores indicate habitat changes with invasive species disrupting seed dispersal. Genetic studies show low diversity in island species, making them less resilient to change. For example, moa DNA suggests they were slow to adapt, while passenger pigeon genomes show a rapid population crash. These clues paint a picture of interconnected ecosystems, where the loss of one species like the dodo ripples outward, nearly dooming trees like the Calvaria. Island extinctions teach us about vulnerability. Without predators, species like the dodo evolves fearlessness, but this left them defenseless against new threats. Modern parallels exist. Galapagos tortoises, Hawaiian honeycreepers, and other island species face similar risks from invasive species and habitat loss. Conservation efforts, inspired by the dodo's loss, aim to protect these ecosystems using rewilding or species reintroduction to restore balance. The dodo's story is a call to action, urging us to tread lightly on fragile worlds. Imagine standing on Mauritius centuries ago, the air warm and humid, the forest alive with the dodo's soft coos. Picture its waddle, its beak snapping at fruit, unaware of the ships on the horizon bringing rats and axes. This image is both serene and poignant, a reminder of life's fleeting beauty. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a quiet evening, with the world hushed, or a morning stirring with light? Share in the comments. It's always a delight to hear from you. If this journey resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now step into a colder, wilder world, where saber-toothed cats prowled with fangs like daggers, their roars echoing through the Ice Age to deepen our understanding. Let's consider other island extinctions, like the Haast's eagle of New Zealand, a massive raptor that hunted moa, or the Steller's sea cow, a gentle giant of the Bering Sea, hunted to extinction by 1768. These losses show how human exploration, often unwitting, reshaped ecosystems. Fossils and historical records, like sailors' logs or Maori oral traditions, preserve these stories, while modern science, from DNA to ecological modeling, helps us learn from them. The dodo's extinction, though recent, is part of a larger pattern one will trace through the giants of the Ice Age and beyond, as we uncover the fragile threads that bind life together. Now, let's travel to the Pleistocene, a time of ice and giants, where the air carries the scent of pine and the distant roar of predators shakes the silence. Here, the saber-toothed cat, Smilodon, prowls the grasslands and forests of the Americas, its long, curved fangs gleaming in the fading sunlight. extinct for about 10,000 years. These iconic creatures captivate us with their fierce beauty, their bones preserved in tar pits and caves, offering a vivid glimpse into a world of megafauna and primal struggles. Let's explore Smilodon's life, its role in its ecosystem, and the mystery of its disappearance. As we wander through the Ice Age with wonder and calm, Smilodon wasn't a single species, but a genus. With Smilodon fatalis stalking North America, and Smilodon populator dominating South America, the latter growing up to 400 kilograms, rivaling a modern lion in size but stockier. Its most striking feature was its canine teeth, up to 20 centimeters long, sharp and serrated like blades. Fossils from the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, where thousands of Smilodon skeletons have been unearthed, reveal a muscular build, with powerful forelimbs for grappling prey and a short tail for balance. Unlike modern cheetahs built for speed, Smilodon was a powerhouse designed to wrestle massive prey to the ground before delivering a fatal bite. How did it use those massive fangs? Early theories suggested it stabbed its prey, but biomechanical studies show the teeth were too fragile for such force. Instead, Smilodon likely pinned large animals like bison, camels, or young mammoths using its strong forelimbs. Then opened its jaw an astonishing 120 degrees, twice that of a modern lion, to deliver a precise bite to the throat, severing arteries or windpipes. Fossilized teeth show wear patterns, indicating careful use, like a surgeon's scalpel, while healed injuries on bones suggest a life of brutal hunts and survival against rivals or prey fighting back. The Pleistocene world was a mosaic of ecosystems reconstructed from pollen and fossil evidence. Open grasslands stretched across North America, dotted with forests and fringed by glaciers, while South America's savannas teemed with life. Smilodon shared this landscape with megafauna like giant sloths, mastodons, and dire wolves. Smilodon skeletons found together in tar pits suggest social behavior, perhaps hunting in small groups to tackle large prey. Isotope analysis of their bones reveals a diet heavy in herbivores with occasional scavenging, confirming their role as apex predators that shaped the food web by controlling prey populations. Why did Smilodon vanish? The end of the Pleistocene, around 12,000 to 10,000 years ago, brought warming climates that shrank grasslands, replacing them with forests unsuited to its hunting style. Prey species like mammoths and bison dwindled, likely due to climate shifts and human hunting, which arrived in the Americas around 15,000 years ago. Spear points in megafauna bones suggest humans competed for the same prey, indirectly starving. Smilodon fossils show stress fractures and worn teeth in late populations, hinting at food scarcity. Cave paintings in South America, depicting large cats with elongated fangs, suggest humans may have encountered Smilodon, perhaps even clashed with it. Adding to its decline, modern science brings Smilodon to life with remarkable detail. CT scans of skulls reveal brain size, suggesting keen senses for tracking prey, while 3D models simulate its bite force, estimated at 1,000 pounds, less than a lion's, but precise for its purpose. Fur color is debated. Spotted or striped coats are likely inferred from cave art and modern cat relatives like leopards. The La Brea tar pits, a natural trap where animals sank in sticky asphalt, preserve not just Smilodon bones, but insects, plants, and other animals, painting a vivid picture of its environment. Pollen analysis shows a mix of grasses and trees, while trapped beetles reveal a warm, seasonal climate. The study of Smilodon extends beyond fossils. Biomechanical simulations show how its muscular neck and forelimbs work together, allowing it to pin prey weighing up to a ton. Genetic studies, though limited by degraded DNA, compare Smilodon to modern cats, suggesting a closer relation to tigers than lions. These insights reveal a predator, both powerful and vulnerable, thriving in a world of giants until that world changed too fast. The mystery of its extinction, climate, human impact, or both, reminds us how delicate even the mightiest creatures can be. Imagine standing on a Pleistocene plain, the air cold and crisp, watching a Smilodon crouch in tall grass. Its amber eyes locked on a grazing mammoth, its fangs catching the fading light. Its presence feels alive, a shadow of power and grace preserved in stone. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a starry night with the world quiet around you, or a quiet dawn with birds stirring outside? Share in the comments. It's always a joy to hear from you. If this journey through the Ice Age resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now journey to the frozen tundras where woolly mammoths roamed, their tusks sweeping through the snow to deepen our exploration. Let's consider Smilodon's place in the broader Pleistocene ecosystem, alongside dire wolves and giant ground sloths. It faced competition and cooperation, with fossil sites showing bite marks on rival predators' bones. Its extinction parallels other megafauna losses, like the American lion or short-faced bear, suggesting a cascade of collapses as the climate warmed. These connections, revealed through fossils and ecological modeling, show how predators and prey were intertwined, their fates linked to Earth's shifting rhythms. This thread of interconnectedness will carry us forward as we explore the mammoth's icy world and the giants that defined it. Let's now step into a frozen world where snow blankets the ground, the wind howls softly, and the low bellows of massive creatures echo through the cold. This is the realm of the woolly mammoth, Mammuthus primogenius, a towering symbol of the Ice Age that roamed Europe, Asia, and North America until about 4,000 years ago. With their curved tusks, shaggy fur, and gentle presence, mammoths evoke a time of survival and resilience. Their lives preserved in fossils, frozen remains, and human art, offering a vivid window into a lost tundra world. Let's explore their biology, their lives, and the mystery of their extinction. As we wander through the Ice Age with calm and wonder, woolly mammoths were built for the cold, perfectly adapted to the mammoth steppe, a vast cold grassland that stretched across the northern hemisphere, standing up to 11 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 6 tons. They were slightly smaller than modern African elephants, but engineered for survival in freezing temperatures. Their long, shaggy fur brown-black, or even reddish, had a dense undercoat for insulation, with coarse outer hairs to repel snow. Fossils, including frozen carcasses from Siberian permafrost, reveal a fatty hump on their backs, storing energy for lean winters, and small ears to minimize heat loss. Their tusks, growing up to 13 feet long, were curved and versatile, used for digging through snow to find plants, fighting rivals, or defending against predators like saber-toothed cats. Mammoths were herbivores, grazing on grasses, sedges, and shrubs, as shown by fossilized stomach contents and wear on their massive molars, which ground tough plants like millstones. They lived in herds, likely led by females, similar to modern elephants, with fossil sites showing multiple skeletons, adults, juveniles, and calves, suggesting strong social bonds. Isotope analysis of tusks, which grow in layers like tree rings, reveals seasonal migrations across the steppe, tracking water and food. The mammoth steppe was a rich ecosystem, with bison, horses, and reindeer grazing alongside predators like Smilodon and dire wolves. All shaped by the Ice Age's harsh climate, the extinction of woolly mammoths is a complex puzzle. Around 12,000 years ago, the Pleistocene's end brought warming climates, replacing the steppe with forests and wetlands unsuited to mammoth grazing. Human hunting, evidenced by spear points embedded in mammoth bones from sites like Clovis, New Mexico, likely added pressure. Some populations survived longer on isolated islands, like Wrangel Island in the Arctic, until about 4,000 years ago, recent enough that Egypt's pyramids were already standing. DNA from these late survivors shows low genetic diversity, making them vulnerable to disease or environmental shifts. Fossils with stress fractures suggest food scarcity as habitats shrank, painting a picture of a species struggling to adapt. Frozen mammoth remains, like the Yucca specimen found in Siberia, in 2010 are a paleontologist's dream, preserving hair, skin, muscle, and even blood. These finds reveal details like fur color and diet. While DNA sequencing shows mammoths are closely related to Asian elephants, with genes for cold-adapted hemoglobin and thick skin. Cave art from France and Spain, depicting mammoths with sweeping tusks, shows their place in human culture as both prey and symbols of power. Tools made from mammoth ivory, like carvings and needles from Siberian sites, highlight their role as resources, polished into art or practical objects by early humans. Modern science deepens this story. CT scans of mammoth bones reveal growth patterns indicating lifespans of 60 to 70 years, similar to elephants. Isotope studies trace migrations, showing how mammoths moved with seasons, while pollen analysis reconstructs the steppes' flora grasses, sedges, and scattered shrubs. These insights fueled extinction dreams, where scientists aim to create mammoth-like hybrids using CRISPR to edit elephant DNA. The goal is not a perfect mammoth, but a creature with its traits: fur, tusks, cold resistance capable of restoring tundra ecosystems by trampling shrubs and promoting grasslands. Topic we'll explore later. The mammoth's world was one of endurance, testament to life's ability to thrive in extremes. Imagine a herd moving across a snowy plain, their breath steaming in the frosty air, tusks scraping the ground as they dig for roots. Their heavy steps echo, a rhythm of survival in a cold, fast world. Where are you watching from tonight? A quiet evening, with the world hushed around you, or a morning with the first light creeping in? Share in the comments. It's always a delight to hear from you. If this journey through the tundra resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now dive into the ancient oceans, where a true titan, the megalodon, ruled the deep with unmatched power to enrich our exploration. Let's consider other Ice Age megafauna, like the mastodon, a cousin of the mammoth with straighter tusks, or the giant ground sloth, a bear-like beast that browsed trees. These creatures, found in fossil sites across the Americas, shared the mammoth's fate, their extinctions tied to climate and human pressures. Cave art and oral traditions, like Siberian tales of earth-shaking beasts, suggest mammoths lived. In human imagination, their bones inspiring myths of giants. This interplay of science and story will guide us forward. As we explore the seas where Megalodon swam, its teeth a legacy of a lost aquatic world. Let's now plunge into the ancient oceans, where waves crash over unseen depths and a massive shadow moves silently beneath the surface. Here swims Cartrochel's Megalodon, the largest shark to ever roam the seas, a creature so immense it makes modern great whites seem like minnows. From 23 million to 3.6 million years ago, Megalodon ruled the world's waters. Its teeth, some larger than a human hand, still washing up on beaches, sparking awe and tales of sea monsters. Tonight, we'll explore its colossal power, its life in ancient seas, and the mystery of its extinction, as we drift through the deep with a sense of wonder and calm. Megalodon was a titan, growing up to 60 feet long, 3 times the length of a great white shark, with a body built for strength and speed. Its jaws, spanning 10 feet wide, were lined with over 200 serrated teeth, each up to 7 inches long, sharp enough to slice through flesh and bone. Fossilized vertebrae and teeth, found from Florida's Bone Valley to Australia's coastal cliffs. suggest a streamlined shape with a broad tail propelling it through the water. Biomechanical models estimate a bite force of 40,000 pounds, capable of crushing whale skulls or snapping the spines of smaller prey. This was a predator without equal, an apex force that shaped the ocean's ecosystems. Megalodon's world was a warm, vibrant sea, teeming with marine life. Fossils from sites like the Calvert Cliffs in Maryland or Peru's Pisco Formation reveal a global range. From shallow coastal waters to deep oceanic expanses, it hunted large prey whales, seals, dolphins, and even other sharks using ambush tactics or brute force. Bite marks on fossilized whale bones, some showing deep gouges, confirm its predatory prowess. While smaller teeth in coastal sites suggest nursery areas where young megalodons grew, born live like modern sharks. Its massive size demanded enormous energy, likely requiring thousands of pounds of food daily. Tying it to abundant marine mammal populations, the science of megalodon comes mostly from its teeth, which sharks shed constantly, leaving thousands scattered across ocean floors. These fossils abundant in places like South Carolina's rivers or Chile's deserts, allow scientists to estimate its size and behavior. Computer simulations suggest it swam at speeds up to 20 miles per hour, using sudden bursts to catch prey. Isotope analysis of teeth reveals a diet rich in whales, with nitrogen levels indicating a top predator. Its body structure, inferred from great white and mako shark relatives, suggests a warm-blooded metabolism, keeping it active in cooler waters. Why? Did this titan vanish? Around 3.6 million years ago, during the Pliocene, global cooling shrank populations of whales, megalodon's primary food source. Changing sea levels disrupted coastal nurseries while smaller, more adaptable predators like early orcas emerged. As competitors, fossils show no direct human impact, as megalodon went extinct before humans evolved, but its teeth, found by ancient peoples, likely inspired myths of sea serpents. In Mesoamerica, megalodon teeth were carved into tools or worn as ornaments. Their origins a mystery to those who held them, perhaps seen as gifts from the gods. Modern science keeps megalodon's story alive. 3D models of its jaws, built from fossil measurements, show how it crushed prey, while ecological studies reveal its role in balancing marine ecosystems. Unlike mammoths, with their preserved DNA, megalodon left no soft tissue, making genetic revival impossible. But studies of modern sharks offer clues to its biology. For example, great white shark DNA shows genes for fast healing, possibly shared by megalodon, explaining its survival in brutal hunts. Ocean sediment cores, containing microfossils, reconstruct its warm, prey-rich seas, while climate models show how cooling shifted those ecosystems. Dooming the giant, megalodon's legacy lingers in its fossils and our imagination. Its teeth, still found on beaches, are tangible links to a lost world. Their weight and sharpness evoking a creature of unmatched power. The idea of megalodon surviving in deep oceans persists in folklore, but no evidence supports its extinction left. A gap no modern predator has filled. Yet its story teaches us about resilience and change, showing how even the mightiest creatures depend on a delicate balance of food, habitat, and climate. Picture megalodon gliding through the deep, its massive form cutting through the water, teeth glinting in the faint light filtering from above. Its shadow darkens the sea, a silent force of nature, forever gone yet forever present in its relics. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it midnight, with stars sparkling outside, or morning, with the first rays of light touching your window? Share in the comments. It's always a joy to hear from you. If this dive into the ancient seas resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now explore the science that uncovers these lost worlds, from fossils to the secrets they hold to deepen our journey. let's consider other marine giants, like the mosasaur, a massive sea reptile that swam alongside megalodon, or the livyon, a prehistoric whale with teeth rivaling the sharks. Their fossils, found in places like Morocco's phosphate beds, show a sea of predators, each shaping the other's evolution. Megalodon's extinction, like theirs, reflects the ocean's shifting rhythms. A story we'll trace through the science of fossils, connecting the deep past to the present. Let's pause our journey through lost worlds to explore the science that brings them back to life. Paleontology, the study of fossils. Fossils, whether a dodo's bone, a megalodon's tooth, a mammoth's tusk, or a dinosaur's footprint. Earth's memory, preserving glimpses of creatures that roamed millions or mere centuries ago. These relics, locked in stone, ice, or amber, are clues to lives long gone, offering stories of survival, adaptation, and extinction. Tonight, we'll delve into how fossils form, how scientists unlock their secrets, and how these fragments reveal the ecosystems of the past, all with a soothing sense of wonder to guide you toward rest. Fossils form through a rare and delicate process. When a creature dies, its remains must be buried quickly by mud, sand, or volcanic ash to avoid decay or scavenging. Over time, minerals in the sediment seep into bones or shells, replacing organic material with stone, creating a fossil. In exceptional cases, like Siberian permafrost, freezing preserves soft tissues, as seen in mammoth carcasses with hair and skin. Amber, fossilized tree resin, traps insects or feathers, as in Myanmar's deposits, which hold dinosaur wings in stunning detail. Trace fossils, like footprints or burrows, capture moments of Smilodon's stride. A moa's track frozen when mud hardens into rock. Only a tiny fraction of creatures fossilize, making each find a precious window into the past. Paleontologists use a toolbox of sciences to read these clues. Radiometric dating, using isotopes like uranium-238 for ancient fossils or carbon-14 for recent ones like mammoths, pinpoints ages to within thousands or millions of years. Isotope analysis of teeth reveals diets mammoth molars show grasses, while megalodon teeth indicate whale-heavy meals. CT scans peer inside fossils without breaking them, revealing Smilodon's jaw structure or dinosaur bone growth. 3D modeling simulates movement, showing how a dodo waddled or a megalodon swam, while pollen and plant fossils reconstruct ancient climates. From Mauritius forests to the Mammoth Steppes grasslands, key fossil sites bring these worlds into focus. The Labrie tar pits in Los Angeles, where sticky asphalt trapped Smilodon, mammoths, and dire wolves preserve entire ecosystems, with insects and seeds revealing a warm, grassy landscape. China's Liaoning beds with feathered dinosaurs like Microraptor show the link between dinosaurs and birds, their delicate wings etched in shale. Siberian permafrost yields frozen mammoths, like the Luba calf, with preserved organs offering clues to health and diet. These sites, studied with tools like mass spectrometry, reveal chemical traces: nitrogen for diet, oxygen for climate, painting vivid pictures of lost worlds. Fossils also map extinction events. The Cretaceous-Paleogene boundary, a thin layer of iridium-rich clay, marks the meteor impact 66 million years ago that killed non-avian dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex. Pleistocene fossils with spear points in mammoth bones show human impacts, while sediment cores reveal climate shifts that doomed megafauna. The dodo's bones, found in Mauritian swamps, tell a recent story of human-driven loss, with invasive species and deforestation as culprits. Each event, from cataclysmic to gradual, shows how life responds to change. A lesson for today's endangered species. New technologies push paleontology forward. Synchrotron X-rays reveal microscopic details, like protein traces in a T-Rex femur, sparking hopes of ancient molecules, though DNA degrades over millions of years. AI analyzes fossil data, predicting behaviors or reconstructing ecosystems, while 3D printing creates bone replicas for study without damage. Virtual reality lets scientists walk through ancient landscapes from dodo forests to megalodon seas, making the past immersive. These tools transform fossils from static relics to dynamic stories, revealing how creatures lived, moved, and died. The mystery of fossils lies in their incompleteness. A single bone might represent a species, yet it can reveal so much diet, age, environment. For example, a moa's leg bone shows its running speed, while a passenger pigeon's skull hints at its flocking behavior. These fragments, pieced together, with patience, connect us to worlds long gone, reminding us of life's fragility and resilience. Imagine holding a megalodon tooth, its serrated edge heavy in your hand, or a dodo bone, light as a whisper of a lost island. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a quiet night with stars above, or a morning with light creeping in? Share. In the comments, it's always a joy to hear from you. If this exploration resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now see how humans encountered these creatures, their bones shaping stories and myths to deepen our journey. Let's consider trace fossils like dinosaur nests in Mongolia's Gobi Desert, showing parental care, or coprolites fossilized, dung revealing diets. These subtle clues, alongside bones and teeth, build a fuller picture of ancient life, from daily habits to catastrophic ends. This science, blending patience and technology, will guide us as we explore human encounters with extinct creatures, from mammoth hunts to dodo sketches, and the stories they inspired across time. Let's now walk in the footsteps of our ancestors, who shared the world with some of these extinct creatures, their lives intertwined with the giants of the past. From cave paintings to ancient tools, from sailors' journals to oral traditions, we see how humans encountered mammoths, saber-toothed cats, dodos, and even the relics of megalodons, turning their bones and teeth into stories, myths, and symbols. These interactions, studied through archaeology and anthropology, reveal a shared history where extinct creatures shaped human culture long before science gave them names. Tonight, we'll explore these encounters, letting their stories guide. U.S. toward rests with wonder and calm in the Pleistocene. Humans lived alongside megafauna like woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats. Cave paintings in Lascaux, France, and Altamira, Spain, over 20,000 years old, depict mammoths with sweeping tusks, drawn with charcoal and ochre on rocky walls. These images, glowing in flickering torchlight, suggest reverence perhaps for hunted prey or spiritual symbols. Spear points, made of flint or obsidian, found embedded in mammoth bones at sites like Clovis, New Mexico, show humans hunted these giants. Their tools, piercing thick hides. These hunts, risky and communal, likely shaped early societies, with mammoth meat feeding tribes and their bones crafting shelters or tools. Mammoth ivory was a prized resource. In Siberia, archaeologists uncovered carvings, figurines, needles, and harpoons polished from tusks, showing both utility and artistry. Sites like Sungir, Russia, reveal beads and ornaments, suggesting mammoths held cultural significance, perhaps as symbols of strength. Oral traditions among indigenous Siberian peoples tell of earth-shaking beasts, possibly inspired by mammoth bones eroding from permafrost, mistaken for giants or gods. These stories, passed down through generations, kept mammoths alive in human imagination long after their extinction. Saber-toothed cats, like Smilodon, may have been rivals. Bones from Labri tar pits show cut marks from human tools, hinting at butchery or scavenging. Cave art in South America, depicting large cats with elongated fangs, suggests encounters, perhaps clashes, as humans competed for prey like bison or deer. These interactions were rare but impactful, with Smilodon's fearsome presence likely fueling tales of monstrous predators. Fossils with spear damage found in Texas suggest humans occasionally bested these cats, their courage etched in bone. The dodo, extinct more recently, was met by humans in the 1590s when Dutch sailors landed on Mauritius. Their journals describe a clumsy bird, fearless and easy to catch, its meat tough but edible. Sketches from these accounts, like those by Admiral Jacob van Neck, show a plump, waddling creature, its beak and small wings captured in ink. These records, along with a few stuffed specimens in European museums, are our only glimpses of the dodo alive. Sailors brought rats and pigs, which ate dodo eggs, sealing its fate. But their writings preserve its memory, a bittersweet echo of a lost world. Megalodon, extinct before humans evolved, still shaped stories through its fossils. Its massive teeth, found on ancient beaches from Florida to New Zealand, were used as tools or ornaments in Mesoamerica, where cultures like the Olmec carved them into pendants, perhaps seeing them as divine relics. Indigenous stories across the Pacific speak of sea monsters, possibly inspired by these teeth, their size and sharpness evoking creatures of myth. In Europe, megalodon teeth were called tongue stones, thought to be petrified serpents' tongues until science recognized them as shark teeth in the 17th century. Archaeology pieces together these encounters. Pollen near human sites shows the plants mammoths grazed like sedges on the steppe, while bone middens reveal hunting patterns. Tools made from megafauna, bones mammoth rib spears, Smilodon claw knives show resourcefulness. Oral traditions, like those of Native American tribes, describe giant beasts, possibly memories of mastodons or ground sloths. In Australia, Aboriginal stories of bunyips may stem from megafauna like Diprotodon, a giant wombat-like creature, its bones found near ancient campsites. These encounters bridge science and story. Cave art, studied with carbon dating, shows when humans and megafauna coexisted, while chemical analysis of tools reveals their use. The dodo's extinction, documented in historical records, highlights human impact. A pattern seen in the passenger pigeon, whose flocks vanished by 1914. Or the stellar sea cow, hunted to extinction by 1768. These losses, preserved in fossils and tales, remind us how humans have shaped nature. For better or worse, imagine an ancient hunter gazing at a mammoth's tusk, its curve gleaming in the firelight, or a sailor sketching a dodo by lamplight, puzzled by its trust. Their awe feels familiar, a thread connecting us to the past. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a starry evening with the world quiet, or a morning with light stirring? Share in the comments till it's always a delight to hear from you. If this journey resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now explore how modern science revives these creatures, bringing their stories into the present. To deepen our exploration, let's consider the moa, New Zealand's giant birds, whose bones were used by Maori for tools and ornaments. Or the passenger pigeon, whose extinction inspired early conservation movements. These encounters, from ancient hunts to recent losses, show how extinct creatures shaped human culture, their relics sparking wonder and caution. This interplay of past and present will guide us as we explore modern science, from DNA to virtual reconstructions, breathing new life into these lost worlds. Let's now step into the present, where science transforms our view of extinct creatures, turning bones and teeth into vivid stories of life and loss. Paleontology has grown from a curiosity-driven pursuit to a cutting-edge discipline, using DNA sequencing, advanced imaging, and artificial intelligence to reveal details about dodos, mammoths, megalodons, and more. These tools bring us closer to their worlds, from island forests to icy tundras, while teaching us about extinction and survival. Tonight, We'll explore how modern science breathes life into these creatures, guiding us toward rest with a sense of wonder and discovery. Fossil discoveries fuel this progress, each site a time capsule. China's Liaoning beds, with feathered dinosaurs like Sinosauropteryx, reveal the link between dinosaurs and birds, their delicate feathers preserved in fine shale. The La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles yield thousands of Smilodon and mammoth bones, their wear patterns showing diet and injuries. Frozen mammoths, like the Luba calf found in Siberia in 2007, preserve skin, hair, and organs, offering rare glimpses into their biology. These finds, studied with mass spectrometry, reveal chemical traces: carbon for diet, strontium for migration, painting ecosystems in vivid detail. DNA analysis is a revolution in paleontology. Woolly mammoth DNA, extracted from permafrost-preserved bones, is nearly fully sequenced, showing their close relation to Asian elephants, with genes for thick fur and cold-adapted hemoglobin. Dodo DNA, from museum specimens like those in Oxford, confirms its pigeon ancestry, though fragmented samples limit full reconstruction. Megalodon, with no soft tissue, offers no DNA, but studies of great white shark genomes suggest shared traits like fast-healing wounds. Ancient DNA, once thought impossible beyond 100,000 years, now reaches back 1,000,000 years, thanks to advances in next-generation sequencing, revealing evolutionary paths and adaptations. Computer modeling animates these creatures. Biomechanical simulations show Smilodon's hunting style, with its powerful forelimbs pinning prey before a precise bite, or Megalodon speed, estimated at 20 miles per hour for ambushing whales. 3D printing creates fossil replicas, allowing scientists to test theories without damaging originals, like reconstructing a dodo's waddle or a mammoth's stride. Virtual reality lets researchers walk through ancient ecosystems, from Mauritius forests to the mammoth steppe, visualizing climates reconstructed from pollen and sediment cores. AI analyzes vast fossil datasets, predicting behaviors or environmental shifts. Like how moa adapted to New Zealand's forests, modern science also clarifies extinction causes. Climate models simulate the Pleistocene warming that shrank mammoth habitats, replacing grasslands with forests. Fossil layers, like the iridium-rich clay marking the dinosaur-killing meteor 66 million years ago, pinpoint cataclysmic events. Human impacts are evident in spear points in mammoth bones or deforestation on Mauritius, which doomed the dodo. These insights inform conservation, showing how past losses passenger pigeons, stellar sea cows mirror threats to modern species like rhinos or coral reefs. By studying ancient ecosystems, scientists model how climate change affects biodiversity, guiding efforts to protect endangered species. Museums and technology make these discoveries accessible. Interactive exhibits, like the American Museum of Natural History's T-Rex skeleton, draw millions, while virtual tours let anyone explore fossil sites. Online databases share 3D fossil scans, democratizing research, while citizen science projects, like fossil hunts in Montana, engage the public. Social media spreads these stories, from dodo genome breakthroughs to mammoth DNA finds, keeping extinct creatures in our collective curiosity. These efforts ensure the past isn't forgotten, its lessons shaping our future. The power of modern science lies in its ability to bridge time. A mammoth's tusk, scanned with synchrotron X-rays, reveals growth rings like a diary of its life. A dodo's bone, sequenced for DNA, whispers its evolutionary story. Even Megalodon's teeth, mapped with laser imaging, show bite patterns that echo its hunts. These tools make the past feel alive, a conversation across eons. Imagine a scientist peering through a microscope, uncovering a protein trace in a dinosaur bone, or a child marveling at a mammoth's tusk in a museum. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a quiet evening with stars above, or a morning with light stirring? Share in the comments. It's always a delight to hear from you. If this journey resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now explore the dream of bringing these creatures back, to vision of science and wonder to deepen our exploration. Let's consider lesser-known discoveries, like the Arthroplura, giant millipede from Carboniferous forests, or the passenger pigeon's genome, partially reconstructed from museum specimens. These finds, studied with tools like isotopic mapping or ecological modeling, show how science uncovers not just creatures but entire worlds, from food webs to climates. This quest for knowledge will guide us as we explore de-extinction, the tantalizing possibility of reviving these lost species. Let's now venture into a realm where science meets dreams, where the boundaries of time blur and the possibility of resurrecting lost creatures sparks both hope and wonder. De-extinction. The idea of bringing back species like the dodo, woolly mammoth, or even, in theory, the megalodon is no longer pure fantasy, but a frontier of modern biology. Could we one day see a dodo waddle through a forest again, or a mammoth tread the snowy tundra? The science is tantalizing, but it's woven with challenges, ethical questions, and visions of a future where the past lives again. Tonight, we'll explore de-extinction's promise and perils, letting its mysteries guide us toward rest with a soothing sense of curiosity. De-extinction aims to revive extinct species or recreate their traits using genetic engineering. For woolly mammoths, the process is most advanced, thanks to well-preserved DNA from frozen remains in Siberian permafrost. Scientists, like those at Colossal Biosciences, are sequencing mammoth genomes, identifying genes for traits like shaggy fur-curved tusks and cold-resistant hemoglobin. Using CRISPR, a precise gene editing tool, they plan to insert these genes into Asian elephant cells, the mammoth's closest living relative. The resulting embryo, grown in an artificial womb, would produce a hybrid creature with mammoth-like features, not a perfect replica. The goal is a calf by 2028, capable of thriving in Arctic ecosystems, potentially restoring grasslands by trampling shrubs, a process that could sequester carbon and combat climate change. The dodo presents a tougher challenge. Its DNA, extracted from bones and museum specimens, is fragmented, like a puzzle with missing pieces. Scientists are reconstructing its genome, using the Nicobar pigeon as a template, but full revival is decades away. The process would involve editing pigeon cells to express dodo traits like flightlessness and a large beak, then growing a dodo-like bird. Other candidates, like the passenger pigeon, whose flocks once numbered billions in North America, are also targets. Their DNA, preserved in museum skins, is being studied, with plans to edit rock pigeon genes. The moa, New Zealand's giant bird, is another possibility, though its DNA is scarcer, found only in bone fragments from cave deposits. Megalodon, however, is beyond reach. With no soft tissue preserved, its DNA is lost, and its size up to 60 feet makes revival impractical, even if genes were available. Modern sharks, like great whites, offer insights into its biology, but de-extinction remains a dream confined to fiction. Smaller marine species, like the Caribbean monk seal, extinct by the 1950s, are more feasible, with DNA from preserved hides offering hope. Each species presents unique hurdles, from genetic gaps to the need for suitable habitats, making de-extinction a complex puzzle. Beyond genetics, de-extinction requires ecosystems. Could a mammoth hybrid survive in today's Arctic, with shrinking grasslands? Would a dodo-like bird thrive in a Mauritius altered by invasive species and deforestation? Ecological studies suggest benefits mammoths could restore tundra ecosystems, promoting grasses that reflect sunlight and slow permafrost melt. But risks loom. Hybrids might disrupt modern food webs, or fail to adapt to changed climates. The 2003 cloning of a Pyrenean ibex, a mountain goat extinct in 2000, succeeded briefly, but the clone died within minutes due to lung defects, showing the technology's limits. Ethics are at the heart of de-extinction. Should we revive species for zoos, labs, or the wild? Could hybrids suffer in unfamiliar environments, their instincts misaligned with modern worlds? Critics argue that de-extinction diverts resources from saving endangered species, like rhinos or coral reefs, which face immediate threats. Others see it as atonement for human-driven extinctions, like the dodo or passenger pigeon, a chance to restore balance. Public perception, shaped by films like Jurassic Park, often views de-extinction as thrilling but risky, raising questions about humanity's role in shaping nature. These debates guide the science, ensuring it balances ambition with responsibility. The science of de-extinction builds on paleontology's foundations. Fossil studies, like mammoth tusk growth rings, inform which traits to prioritize, while DNA from frozen remains provides raw material. AI accelerates genome reconstruction, predicting missing sequences, while synthetic biology crafts artificial wombs for species without close relatives. These tools, rooted in discoveries from sites like Siberia or Mauritius, make the past a blueprint for the future. Conservationists also draw lessons, using de-extinction research to protect species like the black-footed ferret, whose genomes are bolstered by ancient couche DNA techniques. Imagine a future where a mammoth-like calf takes its first steps on a snowy couche trudge. Only Rubicus has the luxury couche has, like Stugarius. My muge, deplite laws and list, lost in. Limized couche, long-lasting color. Muge couche is Kalish to Kalis. My lice, tamali lesed khalid. Exist to cad with CD alley 6, my resat. Sixes, si, prieta, but why we lie to walk in it down. Pipe say cade. We be wired. I belie I sign it. I so I will smoke. It's it a psychrexic hits it at least it. Guy salic sits ik the sit to be to papas to puzzle sick it to dead to bike. A piece sis to pull-ups. Plain. Its breath steaming in the cold, or a dodo-like bird pecks at fruit in a restored forest. The vision is both hopeful and humbling, a reminder of science's power and nature's complexity. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a starry night with the world hushed, or a quiet morning with light creeping in? Share in the comments. Sits. Always a delight to hear from you. If this stream of revival resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now explore how these creatures live on in our culture. Their stories woven into art, myth, and imagination to deepen our journey. Let's consider other de-extinction candidates, like the thylacine, Australia's marsupial wolf, extinct in 1936 with DNA from preserved pups, or the great auk, a flightless bird lost in the 1840s. These efforts, blending genetics and ecology, show how science seeks to undo past mistakes, while raising questions about our role in nature's story. This theme of legacy will guide us as we explore how extinct creatures shape our culture, from ancient art to modern tales. Let's now turn to the timeless place where extinct creatures live on, not in flesh or bone, but in our hearts, stories, and dreams. From the dodo's quirky charm in literature to the mammoth's majesty in cave art, from megalodon's monstrous shadow in films to dinosaurs' dominance in pop culture. These creatures shape our imagination, turning fossils into symbols of wonder, loss, and mystery. Their relics, found by ancient humans or modern explorers, inspire art, myths, and movements, keeping their spirits alive across time. Tonight, we'll explore their cultural legacy, letting these stories guide us toward rest with a soothing sense of connection, The dodo is a poignant icon of extinction. In Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, published in 1865, the dodo organizes a chaotic caucus race, its bumbling nature capturing its real-life trust and charm. Its name, often linked to fool, reflects its fearless demeanor, but it also became a rallying cry for conservation. Campaigns like Save the Dodo use its image to protect endangered species, while museum exhibits, like the dodo skeleton at Oxford's Natural History Museum, draw crowds with its round, familiar form. Artists paint it in lush Mauritian forests, a symbol of innocence lost to human carelessness. Woolly mammoths hold a mythic place in culture. Cave paintings in France's Chauvet Cave, over 30,000 years old, show mammoths alongside bison, their tusks drawn with reverence in ochre and charcoal. Siberian indigenous stories speak of earth-shaking beasts, possibly inspired by mammoth bones eroding from permafrost, seen as giants or spirits. In modern times, films like Ice Age make mammoths beloved, with Manny, the gruff but kind-hearted mammoth, a global icon. De-extinction projects keep mammoths in the spotlight, fueling documentaries and debates about science's power. While their tusks, carved into ancient art or modern replicas, symbolize endurance, Megalodon, though extinct millions of years before humans, sparks imagination through its teeth. Found on beaches from Florida to New Zealand, these massive fossils were used by Mesoamerican cultures as pendants or tools, perhaps seen as relics of sea gods. Pacific Island myths of giant fish or serpents may stem from these finds, their size evoking awe. Modern films like The Meg exaggerate Megalodon's terror, portraying it as a living monster, yet they drive curiosity, sending people to museums or beaches to find its teeth. These stories, blending fact and fiction, keep Megalodon's legend alive, a titan of the deep in our collective psyche. Dinosaurs, like Tyrannosaurus rex or Triceratops, dominate pop culture thanks to Jurassic Park, which blends science with spectacle. Released in 1993, the film sparked a global dinosaur craze, with museums like the American Museum of Natural History seeing record visitors to their T-Rex exhibits. Toys, books, and games make dinosaurs a childhood staple, while feathered dinosaur discoveries like those in Liaoning, China, reshape their image from scaly reptiles to bird-like creatures. The passenger pigeon, extinct by 1914, inspires environmental literature, its loss a cautionary tale in books like A Feathered River Across the Sky, urging protection of today's species. Anthropology and media studies trace this cultural impact. Cave art, dated with carbon-14, shows how early humans saw megafauna as sacred or vital, while oral traditions, like Native American tales of giant beasts, reflect fossil finds. Museums use interactive displays, like virtual reality tours of mammoth steps, to engage audiences, while social media spreads stories of dodo DNA or T-Rex fossils, making science accessible. Conservation movements, inspired by losses like the great auk or stellar sea cow, use these creatures' stories to advocate for endangered species. From coral reefs to rhinos, the interplay of science and culture is powerful. Fossils, once mysteries to ancient peoples, are now studied with DNA and imaging, yet they still inspire art and storytelling. A dodo's bone in a museum evokes a lost island, while a mammoth's tusk in a film sparks dreams of icy giants. These creatures, though gone, shape our values, urging us to cherish life's diversity. Imagine a child holding a megalodon tooth, its weight a link to ancient seas, or an artist sketching a mammoth under starlight. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a quiet evening with stars above, or a morning with light stirring? Share in the comments. It's always a delight to hear from you. If this journey resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now look to the future. where science continues to uncover these creatures' secrets to deepen our exploration. Let's consider lesser-known cultural impacts, like the moa in Maori legends, where its bones inspired stories of giant birds, or the thylacine in Australian art, its extinction a modern tragedy. These narratives, from ancient myths to social media, show how extinct creatures bridge past and present, guiding us as we explore the future of paleontology and its lessons for our world. As we near the end of our journey, let's gaze into the future, where science continues to unravel the mysteries of extinct creatures, bringing their worlds closer with each discovery. Technologies like AI, advanced DNA sequencing, and immersive imaging are transforming paleontology, offering fresh insights into dodos, mammoths, megalodons, and beyond. These advances not only revive the past but guide us in protecting today's species, linking lost worlds to our planet's future. Tonight, we'll explore what lies ahead, letting these possibilities soothe us toward rest with wonder and hope. Genetics is at the forefront of this future. Woolly mammoth DNA, nearly fully sequenced from permafrost remains, reveals traits like cold resistance and fur growth, guiding de-extinction efforts. Dodo DNA, though fragmented, is being reconstructed with AI, which predicts missing sequences by comparing them to pigeon genomes. Even species with scarce DNA, like the moa, are becoming accessible as sequencing pushes back to 1 million years, thanks to new extraction techniques. These advances could help conserve living species, like boosting genetic diversity in endangered elephants or pigeons. Using lessons from their extinct kin, imaging technologies are revolutionizing fossil studies. Crotron X-rays reveal microscopic details like protein traces in a T-Rex bone or growth rings in a mammoth tusk without damaging fossils. CT scans show internal structures like Smilodon's jaw muscles or dodo beak strength, while 3D printing creates replicas for testing. Theories, such as how a megalodon's teeth crushed prey. Virtual reality takes this further, letting scientists and the public walk through reconstructed ecosystems, Mauritius forests, mammoth steppes, or ancient seas using fossil data and pollen to model climates and landscapes. AI is a game changer, analyzing vast fossil datasets to predict behaviors, like how a moa ran or a smilodon hunted. Machine learning reconstructs fragmented bones or genomes, while ecological models simulate ancient food webs, showing how megafauna shaped their worlds. These tools also inform conservation, predicting how climate change affects modern ecosystems. By studying past collapses like the Pleistocene warming that doomed mammoths, rewilding projects inspired by mammoth grazing use bison or horses to restore grasslands. Mimicking ancient dynamics to combat carbon release, citizen science and global collaboration will shape paleontology's future. Online databases, like the Paleobiology Database, share fossil scans, letting researchers worldwide study T-Rex skulls or dodo bones. Fossil hunts, like those in Montana's Hell Creek Formation, engage amateurs, uncovering new specimens. Social media amplifies discoveries, from mammoth DNA breakthroughs to feathered dinosaur finds, making science a shared journey. Museums, with virtual tours and interactive exhibits, bring fossils to millions, inspiring the next generation of scientists. Ethics will guide this future. Should we prioritize de-extinction over saving endangered species? How do we ensure revived creatures thrive in modern ecosystems? These questions, debated in journals and public forums, ensure paleontology remains responsible. Lessons from past extinctions: dodos, passenger pigeons. Great Auks inform policies to protect species like the vaquita or Amur leopard. Climate models, built on fossil records, predict how warming affects biodiversity, urging action to preserve habitats. The future of paleontology is a bridge between past and present. A mammoth's genome, sequenced in a lab, could restore ecosystems, while a dodo's bone, scanned with X-rays, reveals its life. These discoveries, shared through technology, make the past accessible, teaching us to cherish life's diversity. Imagine a scientist modeling a megalodon's swim in virtual reality, or a child discovering a fossil on a beach, their curiosity sparking a lifelong passion. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it a starry night, with the world hushed, or a quiet morning, with light creeping in? Share in the comments. It's always a delight to hear from you. If this vision resonates, a like or subscribe keeps our sleepy haven glowing. Let's now close with a gentle farewell to these lost worlds, reflecting on their timeless legacy to deepen our exploration. Let's consider emerging fields like paleoproteomics, which studies ancient proteins and fossils, or paleoecology, which reconstructs food webs from coprolites and isotopes. These disciplines, blending technology and curiosity, will uncover new species, like the Arthroplura, millipede, or Dimetrodon, and their stories, guiding us as we reflect on the past's lessons and the future's promise. As we reach the end of our journey, let's pause to reflect on the lost worlds we've wandered through. From the dodo's sunlit island to the megalodon's shadowy seas. From the mammoth's snowy tundra to the saber-toothed cat's grassy plains, these extinct creatures, dodos, smilodon, mammoths, megalodons, and more are more than fossils. They're chapters in Earth's grand story, tales of life's triumphs, adaptations, and fragility. Their bones, teeth, and footprints, preserved through time, invite us to marvel at their lives and learn from their losses. Tonight, we'll weave these threads together, letting their stories guide us toward rest with a soothing sense of wonder and connection. Each creature we've met is a testament to life's creativity. The dodo, waddling fearlessly through Mauritius forests, was a masterpiece of island evolution. Its trust, a product of a predator-free paradise. The saber-toothed cat, with its dagger-like fangs, embodied power, stalking megafauna in a world of ice and grass. Woolly mammoths, trudging through snow, their tusks sweeping like crescent moons, showed resilience in a harsh, cold world. Megalodon, a titan of the deep, ruled ancient seas with unmatched strength, its teeth a legacy of dominance. Their extinctions, from cataclysmic meteors to human hands, reveal the delicate balance of ecosystems. A lesson echoing in today's endangered species. Paleontology brings these worlds to life, turning fragments into stories. Fossils, like dodo bones in Mauritian swamps or mammoth carcasses in Siberian ice, reveal diets, behaviors, and environments through isotopes and DNA. Technologies from CT scans to AI modeling animate their movements, letting us see a smilodon hunt or a dodo forage. Human encounters, preserved in cave art or sailor sketches, show how these creatures shaped our ancestors' lives, from mammoth hunts to megalodon myths. Modern science, with its virtual reconstructions and genome sequencing, keeps their stories alive, while de-extinction dreams spark hope of seeing them again. These creatures also live in our culture, their legacies woven into art, literature, and film. The dodo, immortalized in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, urges us to protect what remains, while mammoths, painted on ancient cave walls or animated in Ice Age, inspire awe. Megalodon's teeth, once divine relics, now fuel blockbuster films. And dinosaurs, from T-Rex to Velociraptor, captivate generations through Jurassic Park. These stories, blending science and imagination, remind us why we study the past: to understand life's diversity, to honor its losses, and to safeguard its future. The lessons of these lost worlds are profound. The dodo's extinction, driven by human carelessness, mirrors threats to modern species like the Galapagos tortoise or the vaquita. Mammoth and smilodon losses, tied to climate shifts and human hunting, warn us of today's warming planet and habitat destruction. By studying their fossils, we learn to protect ecosystems, using rewelding or conservation to preserve biodiversity. The future of paleontology with AI DNA and immersive technology promises deeper insights, connecting us to the past while guiding us toward a sustainable future as you lie there. Under a starry sky or in the soft light of morning, let these lost worlds linger in your mind. Picture a dodo pecking at fruit in a sun-dappled forest, its coos blending with the rustle of leaves. Imagine a mammoth trudging through snow, its tusks gleaming, or a megalodon gliding through the deep, its shadow vast and silent. These images are gifts from Earth's past, sparks to carry into your dreams, reminders of life's beauty and fragility. Where are you watching from tonight? Is it midnight, with stars sparkling above, or dawn, with the world stirring softly? Share in the comments. It's always a joy to hear from you. Our sleepy community spanning the globe. If this journey through lost worlds has brought you calm, curiosity, or a moment of peace, a gentle tap on the like button or a quiet subscribe keeps this haven glowing. Your support fuels hours of research and storytelling, weaving science and serenity for explorers like you. A final note: this video is for entertainment and relaxation, not medical advice. If sleep troubles you, please consult a professional. This is here to soothe, not to solve. Thank you for joining me on this journey, for wandering through ancient worlds with open hearts and quiet minds. Until next time, may your dreams be filled with the gentle steps of creatures long gone. Their stories alive in your heart, whispering of worlds lost but never forgotten to close our journey. Let's reflect on other lost creatures, like the passenger pigeon, whose flocks once darkened the skies, or the thylacine, whose striped form haunts Australian lore. Their stories, preserved in fossils, art, and science, remind us to cherish the life around us, from the smallest insect to the grandest whale. As we drift toward sleep, let's carry their legacy forward, a gentle call to protect our planet's wonders, now and always.